Seattle's downtown cluster of towering high-rises and the gray-green curve of Elliott Bay that sweeps out into the island-riddled estuary of Puget Sound. A large reservoir, acting as a reflecting pond, is terraced below the parking lot and lookout that fronts the museum, a building under reconstruction for months on its way to housing the city's Asian collection. Boldt parked his aging department-issued four-door Chevy 3 spaces away from the red Prelude that Daphne Matthews maintained showroom clean. She was not to be found in her car. The water tower's stone facade rose several stories to his left. Well-kept beds of flowering shrubs and perennials surrounded its footing, like gems in a setting. The grass was a phenomenal emerald green, unique, he thought, to Seattle and Portland. Maybe Ireland, too. He had never been. Summer was just taking hold. Every living thing seemed poised for change. The sky was a patch quilt of azure blue and cotton white, the clouds moving in swiftly from the west, low and fast. A visitor might think rain, but a local knew better. Not tonight. Cold, maybe, if it cleared. He spotted an unfamiliar male face behind the iron grate of one of the tower's upper viewing windows and waited a minute for this person and his companion to descend and leave the structure. Once they were gone, he chose the stairway to his right, ascending a narrow chimney of steep steps wedged between the brick rotunda to his right and the riveted steel hull of the water tank to his left. The painted tank and the tower that surrounded it were enormous, perhaps 40 or 50 feet high and half again as wide. With each step, Boldt's heart pounded heavier. He was not in the best shape. Or maybe it was because she had elected to step outside the system, and that could not help but intrigue him. Or maybe it was personal and had nothing whatsoever to do with the shop. He and Daphne had been close once. Too close for what was allowed of a married man. They still were close, but mention of that one night together never passed their lips. A month earlier, she had surprised him by telling him about a new relationship. After Bill Gates, Owen Adler was the reigning bachelor prize of the Northwest, having gone from espresso cart to the fastest-growing beverage and food business in the Western region. He leased his own plane, owned a multi-million-dollar estate overlooking Shilshul Marina, and now, quite possibly, owned the heart and affections of Daphne Matthews. Had her note been worded any other way, had she not chosen such an isolated location, Boldt would have been convinced that her request was nothing more than some lover butterflies. In another 2 hours, Volunteer Park would be a drug and sex bazaar. Despite its view, the tower was not a place frequented by the pinstripe set. She had clearly chosen it carefully. Daphne was not given to acts of spontaneity. She desired a clandestine meeting, and he had to wonder why. He reached the open-air lookout at the top of the tower. It had a cement floor and evenly spaced viewing windows cross-hatched with heavy-gauge steel to prevent flyers from testing their wings, or projectiles from landing on passers-by. Daphne held her arms crossed tightly, accentuating an anxiety uncommon in her. Her brown hair spilled over her face, hiding her eyes, and when she cleared it, he saw fear where there was usually the spark of excitement. Her square-shouldered, assertive posture collapsed in sagging defeat. She wore the same blue slacks and cotton sweater he had seen her wearing at work. She had not been to her houseboat yet. "What is it?" he asked, worried by this look of hers. Her chin cast a shadow hiding the scar on her neck. She did not answer immediately. "It's a potential black hole," she explained. A difficult, if not impossible, case to solve, and with political overtones. And then he understood. She had bypassed the proper procedures to give him a chance to sidestep this investigation before he formally inherited it at the cop shop. Why she would have a black hole in the first place confused him. The department's psychologist did not lead investigations. She kept cops from swallowing barrels and profiled the loonies that kept Boldt and the others chasing body bags.